Hi, it's the Tiny One / Bishie, and it is New Year's Eve. But I am recording day 23 of Vlogmas. Almost there. I have a bad feeling because I'm gonna be going to, like I said in yesterday's video, Daredreamer's house. That's day 25, the last day. Probably won't be out until the 1st or the 2nd. So I'll try to get out today before I leave, but who knows. Also, all the coughing has finally caught to my voice, so now I have that awesome sore throat. But gotta have some warm tea, gotta get through it, and let's see what the tea is for today. Okay, I'm hoping not to make these last two videos too long, but you know me. Ooh, pumpkin pomegranate. Don't remember this one. The essence of the Grand Bazaar in Istanbul, a sweet, tangy, mystical flavor. This tea will take you on a flavor journey with its many surprises. Okay. almost a 24.
I didn't find that. To browse other movies and TV shows, just ask me to open Video Home.
Excuse me? I did not mention you at all. Just poke her nose where she doesn't belong. Okay. Its ingredients are apple, hibiscus, rose hips, shells, pomegranate petals, natural and artificial flavor, and safflower. Alright, let's get to steeping. I hate the stage of sickness where you know there's stuff there, but you can't blow it out and it's just there. You're suffering and just... My colds are backwards. Before, I would have the cough and the sore throat at the end of sickness. And I would have the runny nose and all that mucusy, all this sinus stuff beforehand. Now it's reversed. I don't know why. So, oh my god, my cat is about to... My cat was about to jump in my lap when I had a hot mug of tea. That would have been so bad. Oh my god. Anyways. So I did previously have this tea last year. And I think she got spooked out by my reaction. She just, bye. So I said, this tea was actually a lot better than I thought it'd be. The color is a rich dark red, and the flavor of apple with a hint of pomegranate. It's a nice flavor, though, and not overpowering with the tangy flavor. All in all, an interesting flavored tea. Okay. Also, I add sugar. That seems to be like my go-to thing now, adding sugar. Alright, so... We're back on Wikipedia. My beanie is just all over the place. And why are we back on Wikipedia? Because we're going to be talking about two very unusual TV shows that I actually watched when I was younger. Oh, my voice sounds like it's starting to go. Awesome. The first one I'm going to try to skim over as much as possible, because there's a lot of information on this wiki about it. The second one, not so much. I will have both links to these shows in the description below. And if you didn't notice, I added links to E.T. and Alf the video game that I did in yesterday's video. So, this time I'm going to be talking about Alf the TV series. Yes, there was a TV series. There was also a cartoon for a short while. He was also... Excuse me. They had Alf all over the place. Because originally, they were just doing this comedy sitcom for adults, and Alf actually became a children's favorite. And so a lot of the stuff that they started to do in season 1, they kind of had to cool it in the previous seasons because of some of the stuff that the kids were trying to emulate that Alf was doing. But here, let me just read this. Alf is an American sitcom TV series that aired on NBC from September 22nd, 1986 to March 24th of 1990. So there's 4 seasons. The title character is Gordon Shumway, a sarcastic, friendly extraterrestrial nicknamed Alf, an acronym for alien lifeform, who crash lands in the garage of the suburban middle-class Tanner family. The series stars Max Wright as Father Willie Tanner, Annie Sheehan as Mother Kate Tanner, and Andrea Elson and Benji Gregory as their children, Lynn and Brian Tanner. Alf was performed by puppeteer Paul Fusco, who co-created the show with Tom Patchett. Produced by Alien Productions, Alf originally ran for 4 seasons and produced 99 episodes, including 3 one-hour episodes, which would be Try to Remember, Out Special Christmas, and Tonight, that were divided into 2 parts for syndication, totaling 102 episodes. The series proper concluded with an unresolved cliffhanger, but the later TV movie Project Alf provided a series finale for the property. In August 2018, Warner Bros. Television announced development of an Alf reboot. These plans were canceled in November 2018. Yeah, I noticed in the past couple years there's been a lot of, let's reboot this, let's reboot that. And if you haven't seen my Twitter rants, there are certain shows that are so good when they originally are aired that they shouldn't be rebooted, because that's just taking that good name and then tarnishing it, wrapping it up in something that might turn out to be bad. A good example, the recent Child's Play remake. Everybody was hyping it. Hype. And then it goes in theaters. And silence. I did not see one person on Twitter gloats about, this is glorious, this is awesome, this is, a good homage to the original. Nothing. People just carried on like nothing happened. It's like, I mean, this is my personal thing. If you try to make a TV show or movie or whatever, and it bombs, then maybe years down the road, see about doing a remake with, fresh cast, fresh directors, writers, and see if you could actually turn something bad into something good, But don't remake stuff like Buffy. Don't remake stuff like Charmed. Don't get me started on the Charmed reboot. I tried the first, I tried the first episode and no. I would rather rewatch the last season, which I feel is one of the worst seasons, than watch that reboot. But I digress. So, as I mentioned in the previous video, we've got Alf. He's from the planet Melmac. And, well, here's the plot. Oh my god, my voice. Alf is an alien from the planet Melmac who follows an amateur radio signal to Earth and crash lands into the garage of the Tanners, a suburban middle-class family who live in the San Fernando Valley area of California. The family consists of social worker Willie, his wife Kate, their teenage daughter Lynn, and younger son Brian, and their pet cat Lucky, who Alf wishes to consume. And that was another thing. They made a lot of Alf wants to eat the cat, eat the cat, eat the cat jokes. And then they kind of had to taper that off in season 2 and all that because kids tried to emulate Alf. It was bad. Unsure of what to do, the Tanners take Alf into their home and hide him from the alien task force, a part of the U.S. military that specializes in aliens, and their nosy neighbors Trevor and Raquel Ochmonic, until Alf can repair his spaceship. He generally hides in the kitchen. It's eventually revealed that Alf's home planet Melmac exploded due to a nuclear war. Why do all these aliens have their home planet explode? Superman? Why can't they be like, oh, I'll just go back to my home, you know? In the season 1 episode, Pennsylvania 6 5000, Alf tries to convince the President of the United States to stop the nuclear program, as Alf fears that Earth might suffer a fate similar to Melmac's. Though miscalculating his words becomes the President of National Security to call the FBI to arrest Willie, Alf was off-planet when it was destroyed because he was part of the Melmac Orbit Guard. Alf, aka Gordon Shumway, is homeless, but he is not the last survivor of his species. He becomes a permanent member of the family. Wow, my eyes are going so... If I'm skipping stuff all over the place, I am so sorry. He becomes a permanent member of the family, although his culture shock, survivor guilt, general boredom, despair, and loneliness frequently cause difficulty with the Tanners. Despite the problems and inconveniences his presence brings into their lives, they grow to love him. Though some episodes made it clear, they're also afraid of how their lives would be turned upside down if word got out that he was living with them, you know. Got to put some conflict in with the storyline. So yeah, so originally season 1 had 26 episodes. Season 1, 2, and 3 had 26 episodes, and then season 4 had 24. And oh, here's the censorship. Okay. Fusco commented in 2007 that his most enjoyable experience on Alf was sitting in the writer's room and pitching jokes while pushing the limits as to what NBC censors would allow. He commented that the greatest things were the jokes we couldn't put in the show. Specifically, puns dealing with Alf eating cats and other pets were problematic after NBC... Yeah, I'm not going to read the rest of that. A child was bad. In the pilot episode, Alf is seen drinking beer with Brian. Fusco defended the premise, saying that Alf is 285 years old. He can drink beer if he wants. However, as I stated previously, he became more popular with children. So NBC told him, you can't have him drinking. The kids are watching. It's a bad role model. And then the cat eating concept, it carried kind of sporadically into the second season. And then just it got to the point where he actually began to like Lucky the cats. And then I think it was in season 4 when Lucky died. And they actually have Alf, I said Elf, oops, being very respectful and, oh, I come to like you, da da da. Then when Alf gets another cat to eat, he comes to love the cat and it becomes his pet. It's it's some weird thing. So, like I said, there was also an animated series. There's also a comic book, which see, an Alf. I keep saying Elf because I'm tired. Comic book was published by Marvel Comics under their Star Comic imprint, a line that featured licensed characters such as Heathcliff, Thundercats, Flintstone Kids, Muppet Babies, Count Duckula, and other famous characters. The Alf comic began in 1987 and ran for 4 years, totaling 50 issues and several specials. For virtually the entire series run, the creative team of Michael Gallagher, who did the script, and Dave Manek and Marnie Servin did the art. The comic loosely followed the It followed the television show, although it featured alternate takes on certain episodes, like the birth of Eric Tanner, which happens to be the baby in, I think, episode or season 4 that they had to do because the actress who played Kate was actually pregnant. And nowadays they have like technology and camera angles and stuff that's if a actress is pregnant, they don't show that if it's not part of the plot. Back then, though, they kind of had to figure out how to worm and write it into the plot somehow. It featured numerous parodies of Marvel comic characters and other pop culture in the form of Melmac flashbacks, they have in quotes. It was the first instance to feature Alf's natural family in a reverse scenario where Willie Tanner is an astronaut who crashes his spaceship in Alf's garage on Melmac, and the Shumway family works to protect Willie from hostile Melmacians. That's actually kind of cool. In 2004, Alf's hit talk show debuted in U.S. cable channel TV Land, which featured Alf as a Johnny Carson type TV talk show host and co-starring Ed McMahon as his sidekick. And guests include Drew Carey, Tom Green, and Merv Griffin. It ran for 7 episodes. Aw, only 7. Following the end of the series, a made-for-TV movie was produced in 1996, intending to give the series a proper end. Project Alf starts right after the series' final episode, but especially because of the absence of the Tanners, it failed at obtaining success. Did something just move? I felt like something here moved. Oh well, maybe I'm just that tired I'm seeing things. My cat's wandering around and I saw her tail. On May 21st, 1912, whoa, no. On May 21st, 2012, Paul Fusco said he was pitching an Alf movie. In August 2012, it was reported that Sony Pictures Animation had acquired the rights to Alf and would develop the property into a CGI live-action hybrid feature. The Smurfs producer, Jordan Kerner, would also produce the film along with Tom Pratchett and Paul Fusco. Never heard anything more about it. On August 1st, 2018, it was announced by Warner Brothers that they would produce an Alf reboot. The reboot would have likely focused on Alf returning to Earth with a new family and characters, but in November 2018, it was canceled. Which kind of would not make sense, because wouldn't he realize by living with the Tanners that they have a limited lifespan? And I don't know. because Willie was really old when they had that going on, and in that time, Willie could have died, and that would have been devastating to Alf because Alf loved poking fun at Willie and just pushing his buttons and all that. But in the end, he really, really liked Willie. So I don't know. Of course, they have merchandise. I personally had an Alf doll. I also had an ET doll, which I didn't mention in the last video. Oh, here's the video game part, and then I'll move on to the next show, which it won't be that long. There are 6 video games and 1 printing program based on Alf. In 1987, Alf, also known as Alf the First Adventure, for various computer systems such as Commodore 64, IBM, and Apple II. In 1989, Alf for Sega Master System, which we talked about in last video, 4 educational games for IBM and Apple II computers released in 1988 called Alf's U.S. Geography, Alf's Thinking Skills, Alf's World of Words, and Add and Subtract with Alf, and printing program Alf's Party Kids, which I mentioned also that they were probably educational games if they were on the computer, and Putor Kids. But yeah, I would actually love to see, I would love to find this show again and rewatch it and remember, all the funny, crazy stuff that happened in this show. Now, this next series, I don't have such fond memories of, but it was just so bizarre that I couldn't help but watch it. It was one of those things. And this is the TV show Small Wonder. My voice. Small Wonder is an American comedy science fiction sitcom that aired in first-run syndication from September 7th, 1985 to May 20th of 1989. The show chronicles the family of a robotics engineer who secretly creates a robot modeled after a human girl, then tries to pass it off as their adopted daughter, Vicky. Why? I don't know. Let's see. The premise. The storyline revolves around Vicky. So VICI, an acronym for Voice Input Child Indicate, pronounced Vicky. An android in the form of a 10-year-old girl, Vicky was built by Ted Lawson, an engineer-inventor for United Robotics, in an effort to assist handicapped children. Okay, I didn't remember that part. Lawson takes the robot home so it can mature within a family environment. Vicky's features include superhuman strength and speed, an AC outlet under her right arm, a data port under her left arm, and an access panel in her back. Despite this, the Lawson family initially tries to pass Vicky off as an orphan family member who they eventually legally adopt as their daughter. Hold on. Okay. The Lawson family tries to keep the robot's existence a secret, but their disagreeable neighbors, the Bringdolls, keep on popping up in the most unexpected moments. Ha 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 ha. Especially nosy next-door neighbor Harriet, whose father happens to be Ted Lawson's co-worker. See, that's the thing I don't remember about this show. Yeah, I remember Harriet. So if he was Ted's co-worker, then wouldn't he know that Vicky was part of the project? Plot hole? The show's humor frequently derived from Vicky's attempt to learn human behavior, her unprecedented echolalia. What the hell is that word? Oh, it's the unsolicited repetition of vocalizations made by another person. In its profound form, it is automatic and effortless. It is one of the... Wow. Just, okay, that's it. Big words. Never mind. The robot's literal interpretation of speech and her family's efforts to disguise the robot's true nature. To explain child actress... to explain child actress Tiffany Brissett's aging during the show, the series producers had Ted give Vicky an upgrade in the series' third season. He aged her face, dressed her in modern clothes, and allowed her to eat and drink. The foods passed through her naturally, and the drink cooled her internal system. How many of you see so many issues with this? I mean, that'd be like, oh, my computer wants a drink. It just, just pour in, like, here, my computer needs a drink, just pouring my water all over the computer, just. But yeah, it was a really, really bizarre show, and like I said, I remember it. It was weird. Not one of my favorites. Like, she would charge, but she'd be standing, like, she'd be in the closet. They'd be like, because she couldn't, she didn't sleep like a normal person. So they'd be like, Vicky, go to your closet. And she would go into the closet. And I vaguely remember there was like one episode where, well, there's been a couple of episodes where like someone would open the closet and they'd freak out because she'd be in there charging. No, she'd shut down. That's what it was. That was her sleep. It was, I don't know. And then apparently there was an evil robot who looked identical to her in seasons 3 and 4. But the weird thing is you can only get the first and second season on DVD. It doesn't say what happened to 3 and 4. Which is so weird because, like I said, 3 and 4 had the evil Vicky, the evil robot. So, I don't know. So yeah, so those are two very weird, bizarre shows that I watched when I was a child. Like I said, Small Wonder would not be one that I want to revisit. Alf, most certainly, especially since I had like an Alf doll. I think he talked too. I remember he being like super soft and fluffy and just cuddly, and I loved him. E.T. was more of like I wouldn't say rubber, but like he wasn't soft. Well, I mean, he was soft because he had like squishy beads and all that. But he was, I don't know, he was made of a material that wasn't like fur or wasn't fluffy, So, so when I had to pick, I picked Alf over E.T. E.T. was pretty cool though, even though I don't think that E.T. did anything. I think he was just there. But anyways, I should rest my voice for a bit. before recording the final episode of Vlogmas. I should probably get some sleep too. Anyways, that's all for now. Thank you so much for watching. Didn't intend for this episode to be this long. I'm sorry. Anyways, please stay safe, stay happy. I am just all over the place right now. And I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.